That's right, guys, you read the title right. This is episode 4 of reacting to scary videos. Hope you enjoy.
One evening, I got home from work, not exactly feeling my best. I knew a nice long shower would do me some good, but then I saw an empty bottle of conditioner on my bathroom counter. I'd left it there a night or two ago, thinking it would remind me to get more on my way home. Luckily, I live about 5 minutes down the road from Walmart, so I stepped out for a quick trip, with only about 30 minutes left until they closed. Finding parking was easy in the middle of the night, but it gave me quite a different problem. Loitering in front of the store, eyeing me before I even got out of my car, was a creep. He was a strange, gangly man, looking as much like a zombie as he did a living person. His eyes tracked me without blinking as I made my way across the parking lot. I was hoping the guy would not engage with me, but that was just wishful thinking. Approaching the entrance, I did my best to keep my eyes forward and down to ignore him, but it didn't make a difference. At that critical range of about 20 or 30 feet, he called out to me and stepped closer. "Excuse me, miss.
I'm sorry, but I don't have anything to spare.
Can I get a sample?
I said I don't... Wait, what?
You seem sweet and savory like a nice, thick piece of..."
Hey, back off!
What the hell?
Before I knew it, the creep tried hugging me. Fortunately, I was quick enough to duck inside the store and get the attention of a few nearby people, including an employee, so they stared him down as I continued through, giving me a chance to put some distance between us. Brushing it off, I headed for the bathing aisle. I knew exactly where my conditioner was, so it should have been an easy grab and go, a minute tops. Of course, when I got to the shelf, my conditioner was either out of stock or replaced with something else, because it just wasn't there. Annoyed, but determined to make the trip worthwhile, I looked around for the next best thing. As I stood there weighing my options, I got lost in all the different brands and scents and sizes, but I took my time. I was alone, or so I thought so I wasn't in anyone's way. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, I heard a sniff. At first, it barely registered. It was too quiet to pinpoint exactly which direction it came from, but it still tipped me off. I wasn't as alone as I thought, even so late at night in a part of the store that's never very crowded. However, when I looked around, I didn't see anyone. I figured I had just heard somebody on the other side of the shelf take a whiff of a bottle of shampoo. I started opening up to the idea of small talk with another woman, something to cleanse my palate from the previous interaction. Maybe I could make a joke or ask for a recommendation. Maybe they knew where to find what I was originally looking for. Sadly, that fleeting daydream vanished in the very next instant when I heard another sniff. This time it was louder, deeper, and unmistakably right behind me. My body froze in terror. I wrenched my neck to look over my shoulder, and there I saw that man that harassed me outside the store. He was crouched below my waist. Burying his face into the back of my pants and sniffing my... I ran for my life. Every single inch of my skin was crawling. Even as I frantically complained to the employees at the front, I was still unsure if I was going to throw up or not. But thankfully, I managed to hold it together. Moments later, security apprehended the freak and held him at the store until police arrived. A quick check of the security cameras revealed he'd been sneaking in sniffs of my butt for several minutes before I noticed, but at least it provided ample evidence to arrest him. Afterwards, I stayed in contact with the police. I wanted to do everything I could to make sure he never preyed on another woman again, but unfortunately, it was already too late for that. As it turns out, he was a registered offender from a conviction nearly 5 years prior to the incident.
she was crying because her uncle died. She was crying. And you know what you said? Keep talking, I'm almost there, I'm gonna come.
Even worse, he had recently been caught multiple times for the exact same depraved shit he was doing to me. It's clear he's never going to change and probably has no desire to do so whatsoever. The only good that came of this is that he has put away somewhere he will never be around women ever again. Ever since that night, my anxiety has been crippling. I can't stop looking over my shoulder, always expecting to see someone taking advantage of me. I don't even want to go outside unless I'm with someone I trust, and that number of people is smaller than it's ever been. On a more personal note, I am also now heavily triggered by my own body odor, no matter what it smells like or what part of my body it's coming from. Whenever I smell myself, I get furious and terrified at the same time. I can't rest until I've scrubbed and rinsed myself raw, until I'm cleansed of whatever that sick freak wanted of me.
I just want to say there's more to this video, but I cut it out because of how disgusting it was, so it literally showed a guy sniffing a girl's, kind of like what happened in the animation, but I cut it out because of how disgusting it was. So, shout out to Horror Shorts Party. If you want to watch this video, it's on their channel. Watch it yourself. See it. I'm not putting it on my channel.
I'm a worker at my local Walmart supercenter. There are hundreds of other employees besides me. I barely know or interact with any of them. The only guy I could say I was friends with was Mike, an old widower, twice my age, who honestly should have retired a long time ago, but he kept himself busy here as a greeter. All evening long, he would stand around the entrance, checking receipts, talking to customers, doing his best to make Walmart seem less like the gigantic, faceless mega-corporation that it is. I was a cart jockey. Since I spent 80% of my time in the parking lot and entrance, Mike and I would socialize the most, since we worked in the same area. Recently, however, there had been rumors of a potential serial shoplifter. For the longest time, we never even knew his name. Just that he was big, mean, came whenever he felt like it, and nobody could stop him. Sometimes the security guys would see him on the cameras, but they would never mobilize in time. Like I said, the dude was huge and scary looking, so nobody wanted to go near him. At a loss, we called the cops multiple times. They always showed up too late and offered too little. One day, Mike and I got to talking about this asshole. He took a level of pride in what he did, and stopping shoplifters was part of that. As he put it, this repeat offender was about to get what was coming to him. He said the next time he saw the guy, he was going to stop him no matter what. He just needed some backup. So, I agreed. 2 nights later, the time came. Nobody noticed the thief entering. He seemed to have gotten pretty good at blending in as a normal person, but once he had a bunch of unbagged stuff in his hands, he stood out like a sore thumb. I was in the middle of the parking lot when I heard Mike shouting, and that's when I knew it was go time. Immediately, I stopped what I was doing and ran to the entrance. I got there just in time as Mike was chasing and grabbing the thief, so I jumped in to help.
Get your hands off me, you wrinkly son of a bitch! You're not going anywhere! I've had it with you! Hey, it's over, man. Just give up already! Let go or I'll kill both of you! I'm not scared of you, punk! Pussies! You swine! Never come back here!
Before I got a chance to do anything, that guy socked me right in the face. He put me on the ground with a single hit, leaving me shocked and dazed. Once I realized the thief had gotten away, my first clear thought was to make sure Mike was alright. I was worried he'd gotten hit too, and for a guy his age, a fall like the one I took can be deadly, but he was basically untouched. Funnily enough, he was the only one who came to help me and make sure I was alright. My ego was bruised and my head was pounding, but I got to my feet, knowing I'd probably just have a black eye. Afterwards, Mike and I stood in the same spot for a bit, flabbergasted by what the hell just happened. Then, out of nowhere, a car blasted over the curb right at us.
City boys! City boys! City boys!
We didn't have any time to react. For a moment, everything just went black. The impact knocked me out harder than any punch ever could. When I came to, however many seconds later, I was so afraid of dying that I forced myself to get up, fighting through the agonizing pain that every tiny movement caused. I looked one way and saw the thief's car speeding off. Looking the other way, I saw Mike on the ground a good distance from me, but he wasn't moving. I wanted to go and try to wake him up, but the pain was too much for me, so I started screaming.
Mike! Mike! Are you alright? Come on, get up! Damn it! Somebody help! Help us! Help! Ah!
Mike didn't make it. He didn't die quick either. The stubborn bastard clung to life in the hospital for weeks before succumbing to his injuries. I had no idea if he suffered during that time or what. No way to know. As for myself, I had some broken bones and a concussion, but it beats being dead. A few days later, the cops finally found the thief. Turns out his name was Timothy. Doesn't sound like the name of a psycho killer to me, but I guess no mother envisions their offspring will grow up to be a monster. What that man did to Mike is a goddamn shame. It messes with me every day. Obviously, by the time I got back to work, I didn't care about shoplifting anymore. Nothing in that store is worth dying to protect. A 69-year-old Walmart employee died after he was struck by a man fleeing a Walmart he'd allegedly stolen from. Michael Bushy was working the night of October 16 at Walmart when 34-year-old Timothy W. Bassaw drove his vehicle into a group standing at the entrance of the store, striking Bushy and one other employee. Bushy later died at the hospital. Bassaw was stopped earlier that night, trying to leave the store with stolen items. He was known to employees for having recently entered the store and possibly stolen items multiple times. Bassaw argued and yelled at the employees in the parking lot before allegedly getting into his vehicle and driving at the group, ultimately striking 2 employees. Bassaw fled the Walmart, but police later pursued him. He crashed on Perry Road and was arrested. He was charged with the assaults, driving while intoxicated, and leaving the scene of an accident. Court records show Bassaw is listed as homeless.
Okay, I know this is a crazy picture for this, but can we get an RIP Mike in the chat?
Working night shifts at Walmart has taken a toll on me. I'm one of the bigger guys in the store, so I'm often expected to track and confront potential shoplifters. I never even signed up for that part of the job. I just got roped into it. It would help if the guys in the loss prevention office ever got on the floor, but they just sit on their asses in the office and watch the security cameras. In other words, they're all useless. One night, I watched a suspicious older woman walk into the store empty-handed. Something about her immediately tipped me off. She was mean and nasty looking, ready to go full Karen mode the moment someone inconvenienced her. That didn't make her a rich bitch, though. It actually seemed like the opposite. She had no bag or purse, and the raggedy dress she was wearing had no pockets, which left her nowhere to keep a wallet, phone, or any money at all. Since she came alone, meaning there was nobody else to buy stuff for her, I decided to follow her from a discreet distance. I didn't have an earpiece to talk to the security office at the time, so I knew I was on my own, but I was used to that. I just had to be careful. This part of the job is always a delicate balance. The fact that I was obviously wearing the Walmart uniform instead of regular clothes made it much more difficult. I kept my distance and stayed busy with my hands while watching her in my peripheral vision. Occasionally, I risked a quick but direct glance, and every single time she had something in her hand. The way she always caught me looking at the very same instant was suspicious and maddening at the same time. I looked away as fast as possible to not seem like I was staring, but I knew she was on to me. Even weirder, every time I looked, there was a different item in her hand, though she wasn't accumulating anything. She didn't have a basket or a cart, and like I said, no bags or pockets. I considered that she could have been hiding things in her cleavage, but she didn't have a bra to hold things up. and that thin dress was very revealing. If she was hiding anything there, it would have been plain to see. For quite a few minutes, the same thing kept happening. I noticed her take something off the shelf. She'd noticed me and give me a death stare, and then I'd look away. By the time I looked back, she somehow made every damn thing disappear. I knew she was stealing, but I just couldn't prove it. Eventually, I figured I needed to get creative. Instead of watching her from afar, I needed to swoop in and get a closer look. I backed off for a bit and let her get comfortable, think I was giving up, when in reality, I was racing ahead to come around the aisle she was in right as I could feel she was putting something in her hiding place. When I rounded the corner, I got exactly what I was looking for, then a whole lot more.
Yeah, guys, this video is scary.
Hey! What the hell are you looking at?
No way!
That's what I thought! Now leave me alone!
Wait, ma'am, stop! I know you've been stealing. I saw you shove that up your—
What? I didn't shove nothing! I'm about to shove your face if you don't stop harassing me!
Ma'am, I saw you insert store merch into your
I need some help over here! Get this bitch off me!
After fending her off for God knows how long, my coworkers came to help. Those lazy security guards finally did their job and pulled that psycho screaming bitch away. They detained her until the cops arrived, yet by then she was still going insane. They tried to search her so they could arrest her for stealing, but she kept claiming that everyone was just trying to assault her. At some point, they came to an agreement. They wouldn't touch her anywhere but her handcuffs, as long as she willingly revealed and surrendered everything she stole. That's when we all bore witness to the most haunting sight. One by one, the woman pulled things of every shape and size out of her
Is this fucking Minecraft?
privates. It was every single thing I'd seen in her hands before they disappeared, and now I knew where they had gone. Honestly, I wish I never found out. I can't go into specifics, but the sheer volume of things she had up there had to break some kind of record. How she was even able to walk, I'll never know. At the end of the ordeal, she was arrested and taken away. However, even though she is no longer my problem, I cannot forget her. Every time I'm dealing with a customer I think is shoplifting, she appears in the back of my mind, reminding me I will never know what to expect from people. A St. Petersburg woman who was arrested for shoplifting from a Walmart was also caught freebasing in the back of a police cruiser and sneaking drugs into county jail, police said. Rochelle Marie
Guys, the fucking video makes her look fucking fat, and this shows her fucking skinny?
Toko, 30, was arrested Sunday after an off-duty officer witnessed her stealing clothes and hiding them in a lunchbox. Police said she would push a cart into walkways to check for employees, then retreat into the aisle to hide more clothes in the lunchbox, shielding her face when she saw employees walk by. Toko was arrested while leaving the store and admitted to stealing. While being transported to jail, police said Toko was smoking something in the back of the cruiser. The officers said the back of the car had been empty before arresting Toko. Toko was then removed from the back of the cruiser and had her hands down her pants. The officer couldn't find anything in the cruiser or on Toko's person until she got to jail. After arriving, police said Toko removed a crack pipe, narcotics, and small items from her private part
Guys, why couldn't we have just ended it at Mike?
during a search. Toko was charged with theft and possession of contraband. She is currently being held in county jail.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.